I let my children order full meals instead of kids. We were at a restaurant called Rosalie's for my mother-in-law Diane's 60th birthday. 12 of us crammed around 2 pushed-together tables. My kids Mason, 9, and Nora, 4, sitting between me and my husband Colin. My sister-in-law Kristen sat at the other end with her 2 boys, Owen and Beau, 7 and 5. The waiter came around with his little notepad, starting at Diane's end. Orders went fine until he got close to the kids. Before he could even ask, Kristen leaned back in her chair and announced to the whole table that all 4 kids would be having chicken tenders and fries off the kids' menu, with apple juice. She said it like she was doing everyone a favor, like she'd already worked it out in her head days ago. Owen and Beau didn't say anything. They're used to her deciding things for them. But Mason looked at me. He eats like a grown man. 2 tenders and a handful of fries wouldn't get him through the car ride home, let alone the rest of the day. Nora's smaller, but she still finishes a full plate of pasta on her own, no problem. When the waiter got to me, I smiled at him and said my kids would be ordering off the regular menu. Mason ordered the chicken parm. Nora asked for the mac and cheese, the big one, not the kids' version. I told the waiter that was fine, and reminded him I was covering my family's bill separately since it was such a big group. Kristen's face went tight. She didn't say anything right then, not with Diane sitting 3 feet away with a party hat lopsided on her head, but I could feel her staring at me while she scrolled her phone. We got through the appetizers fine. Diane opened her cards, blew out a candle stuck in a slice of tiramisu. Everyone sang. It was actually a nice couple hours, until we were all walking out to the parking lot, and Kristen caught up to me by my car. She said I embarrassed her in front of everyone. She said she told her boys, right before we sat down, that all the kids were getting the same thing, and now Owen had asked her, in front of the whole table, why Mason and Nora got different food. She said I made her look like a liar to her own children. I told her I paid for my own kids' meals, so I ordered what my own kids actually needed to eat. I said I never agreed to her plan. She just announced it like it was already decided, and I wasn't going to make my 9-year-old go hungry, so her rule felt fair. She said I could have just gone along with it for one lunch. I said if she wanted her boys to think all the kids were eating the same thing, she should have asked me first instead of promising them something she couldn't actually control. That's when Diane came around the corner from saying goodbye to someone and asked what was going on. Kristen didn't miss a beat. She told Diane I'd humiliated her at her own birthday lunch, over chicken tenders of all things. Diane looked at me, then at Kristen, then asked one question. She asked Kristen whose money paid for Mason and Nora's food. Kristen said that wasn't the point. Diane said it was exactly the point, and that she'd noticed Owen picking at his fries the entire lunch because he wanted what Mason had, and that wasn't something I did to him. Kristen's mouth opened like she wanted to argue, but nothing came out. She grabbed Owen's hand, said something short to her husband about needing to get going, and walked off toward their van without saying goodbye to anyone, not even her own mother. 3 days later, I got a text from Kristen. Not an apology. She said she was uninviting me from Owen's birthday party next month, said she didn't need me making a scene at another family event. I didn't argue with her. I just wrote back, have fun, and left it at that. Diane called me that same night. She told me she'd already talked to Kristen about the whole thing, and that as far as she was concerned, I'd be at every birthday in that family whether Kristen liked it or not. Then she said one more thing before we hung up. She said she raised 2 kids on a grocery store paycheck and never once told them a lie just to keep the peace at the table, and she wasn't about to let her daughter-in-law start doing it now, especially not to score points off somebody else's kids. 2 weeks later, an invitation showed up in my mailbox for Owen's birthday party anyway, handwritten, from Diane, not Kristen. Mason still asks if we're going. I tell him we'll see what happens. He shrugs and goes back to his homework, already forgetting the whole thing, the way 9-year-olds do once their bellies are full.